the background to why we are gathered here today is purely based on the university's move to try and restructure the university, the move to a high performance organization that they want to become. And our issue is that this has dragged on. I mean, the first letter issued to the Commissioner of Labor, as legislation would dictate, 2020 September, a letter was written to the Commissioner of Labor to say, look, the university wants to move this direction, and there's possible restructuring and retrenching. There is restructuring and possible retrenchments. So now that meant that a lot of things for staff is put on hold, because at that time nobody knew who was going, who was not going to go when the university is finally done with the restructuring. And it's been going on, as I say, from 2020. It's now 2025. This thing has not ended, has not been concluded, but your ordinary employee cannot access a loan. And so this is the biggest problem for us, in that we see a process that's dragging on for so long that we don't even know now whether we still will achieve what the university says it wants to achieve. But most importantly, like I'm saying, is where ordinary employees are not able to access financial support from institutions that offer, your mortgage, your car loan, your personal loan, just to improve your livelihood.
So it's not over temporary, and who's affected?
No, but all the staff members are affected. It doesn't affect temporary staff or anybody of that sort. It affects the everyday worker. All the employees of the university, from your maintenance worker, your domestic assistant, to, I guess, even your directors. But those that feel the brunt of this thing are your ordinary, middle managers going downwards. I assume that those in management are okay, because if they were not okay, they would clearly move fast to finish this thing. So that's where the problem is.
You were told that you guys have exhausted from ministers to former ministers to even the current ministers. You haven't going to take it to the highest office here, the president.
Yes, we have met with the former Minister of Education. At that time, it was Dr. Tebe. We have, since the change of government, we've met with the new Higher Education Minister, Mr. Maile. We have had discussions with him around the table. And our conclusion following that discussion was a hope that we will meet with the university management, or at least the representatives of the university management and the representatives of the workers, in the persons of the university union leadership, to try and find a solution to this dragging process. But as it were, we've not had a follow-up from the minister. We have followed up from our end at the university as employees, as the trade union, to say, look, we met with you, we followed up once, we followed up twice, writing letters, trying to establish, so what's the feedback? When are we meeting to resolve this thing? But this did not happen. These guys did not come back to us. The minister did not come back to us. And it's a problem. So later on, we resolved to meet with the area MP, Penyo Butal. And promises are made, but following up on that and actually executing agreements that we make at a table does not pull through. And that's where the biggest problem is. That we would want to, when we agree, when we set timelines, we must execute those timelines to the letter, because otherwise it drags the process longer than it already is. Now, as you were saying, rightly saying, we are exploring other options of how to try and get this process to end. Office of the President is one of those, but we are also thinking of other means that can possibly remedy the situation. If it means courts of law, so be it. So we are exploring all avenues that will ultimately bring a lasting solution to this thing.
We know the current government education there is no money
Yeah.
Another thing would be some people like Wanyaka, you see, Maida, more than 2 weeks down.
Yeah.
Or other means, would that suggest that you see you guys maybe we're 2 weeks down, kind of where we are from people, the education, yeah, everything else. What has been disrupted? Businesses.
Yeah. Look, there's not so much disruptions as in the business of the university. Not so much on that. However, people's lives who are supposed to be driving the mandate of the university are being disrupted in the sense that they are not able to fully live, their potential, and that's where the problem is. The university employee, the individual employee or the collective are not asking for money. The interest is not even to strike or anything of that sort. We are just saying the process of restructuring has dragged on for so long that people's lives are at a standstill, and that's where the issue is, right? So issue is that, look, let's engage and conclude this process so that then everybody can continue doing what they're doing. And the most important thing, something that we overlook, is the motivation of the employee to deliver on the mandate of the university. So if that person is not motivated, what are we saying? Are we likely to get 100% result output from one individual or the collective who is not inspired to even come to the university because of how they are treated, what the welfare state of that individual is at? That is where the biggest issue is.
One from observation today, usually when people petition, they need management from the petition, then you have another one or two things to say. But from engagements today, they were not there from and from your speeches as a collective, they are not willing to meet you guys halfway. Did you remember at least take us through that?
What we are saying is that, there are certain forums where we engage with the university, but those engagements do not yield results. This is why when we did the demonstration today, it wasn't entirely to meet with the university management, because we meet with them all the time. What we are saying is that when we meet with them, the meetings do not bear any fruit. And so what we wanted to do today was, one, to motivate ourselves to remain resolute in fighting, the stress that each individual employee faces, the depression that has now gotten to each individual employee, motivate ourselves along that so that, we cultivate some system of healing amongst ourselves. Because, look, truth be told, re-image as university employees, and we need to find means to survive within that heavy anxiety driving burden, right? So we would want to do that, but at the same time reason amongst ourselves, explore options that will bring solutions. That was the main thing. And of course, the idea also is to engage stakeholders like the Fourth Estate yourselves, so that then you can project this voice that we are trying to send across.
But this is the last one. Maybe we have a few words to wrap up. Your expectations, maybe a message to the new government. Let's get a government that is beyond anything else. Every forum, we are about the workers' rights, the living wage,
what will be important for the new government to do? And this is our message to them. We've already engaged the higher education minister. Expectation is that he would have shown that they really are a human rights driven government. We would want to see that. The reason why we engaged the minister was primarily for that, to give the new government a chance. Engaging the area MP, who is also, by the way, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, was also to try and bring in the new government to say, please, you've said this to us. We had some type of expectations to because the problems of the university, as I say, come from as far as 2020 or even beyond that. And this was in a different, under a different government. Now the expectation that we had with the current government was that these things will be sorted out. We will meet, pen out those that we could not, those that we would not agree on. We probably would consider, the merits and demerits of such, and agree on what it is that is pertinent, urgent, and important for us to do and conclude. And then things about money, I mean, we appreciate that. We have economists that are lecturers right here. We have business lecturers who are well versed in matters of the global economy. So we appreciate that if we are not selling diamonds, if the Botswana government is not getting any money, the university may not be getting money. But we have an issue with the fact that we will have a process that's supposed to restructure a public institution for that matter, that was built by individual Botswana contributing a chicken, eggs, bag of sorghum, a cow, a goat, a sheep. There's expectation by society, by Botswana, that this university must help them. I mean, right here in the social sciences department, we have the legal clinic. We have the psychology clinic. We have the business clinic at the Faculty of Business. These are clinics that service ordinary Botswana who just walks into campus and gets assistance. Now we want these things to be profiled, amplified, so that then people know that they can access these things. But how do you do that when you are bringing down the university through frustrating the ordinary work? So the new government must get this message in this sense, that do not frustrate the worker, so that then it works in the best interest of the institution and the community at large, or the nation at large.
No, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, so SnapFlash is now available in 9 languages on YouTube: English, French, Hindi, Indonesian, Portuguese, German, Japanese, Spanish, and Italian. All you have to do is go to Settings, select the audio track, and pick the language of your choice. Be the first to stay informed with SnapFlash.
Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.